What's up, Fight Fam? Welcome back. This is T Word, the People's Champ. You are now tuned in to the Mic Check Podcast. Thank you for joining. Today, we're going to talk about Gervonta Tank Davis in this recent court appearance. But before we get into the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We appreciate your feedback. All right, so coming off a fresh win in April over Ryan Garcia and the biggest boxing event of the year so far, Gervonta Davis was scheduled to appear in court on Friday, May 5th to get sentencing in a case from about 2 years ago, back in November, 2.5 years ago, November 2020. He was in a hit and run accident where he fled the scene of a crime. So the specific details, according to The Guardian, basically, he was driving a 2020 Lamborghini Urus SUV, and he had two other passengers in the car. It was around 1:53 in the morning, and he ran a red light, struck a 2004 Toyota Solara, and crashed into the fence of a 7-Eleven at the intersection of MLK and Washington Boulevards in Ridgely's Delight neighborhood in Maryland. Okay, so everybody that was in the SUV, Tank and two other individuals, they jumped in another car who pulled up and they took off. So he pled guilty to the charges, which included leaving the scene of an accident involving bodily injury, failing to notify an owner of property damage, driving on a revoked license, and running the red light. So initially, the judge in the case, which was Melissa Finn, she rejected the deal which his lawyer and the state had come up with to allow him to do 60 days of unsupervised home confinement, because there was a pregnant victim involved in the situation, and prayers that she delivered a healthy baby and everything is okay in her life. Jair Smith, she basically told him she was not okay with that deal, so it was rejected by the judge. Now, this new case, this new hearing, basically the judge has been changed out. They put somebody else over it, and he got what appears to be a much lighter punishment than what he could have gotten. He was facing 50 months. That's a few years. Obviously, he wouldn't have served all of that. And usually when you go in with a bunch of charges, it doesn't stick for everything. They usually plead you into something you're willing to do the time for, especially when you have money and you can afford a high-level attorney. So they gave him 90 days home detention, house arrest, basically, which he's going to serve at the home of his longtime trainer, Calvin Ford. And then he's also got 3 years probation and 200 hours of community service. So in my opinion, probation can be a little bit harder than just going to sit down in jail. And putting somebody on 3 years probation, especially, I don't know where Tank is at as far as his lifestyle goes. It looks like there's some differences because the primary thing is his weight. He had issues with weight, and it suddenly looks like he doesn't really have those struggles anymore. So it looks like there's been some changes, and without being inside this camp, I can't say for sure everything that's been changed, but maybe going through this situation has actually changed him. And we're going to actually discuss this more in depth on Sunday's episode of the Mic Check Podcast. Q and I are going to jump on here, maybe a live broadcast if we could coordinate the time. We want to work around the Angry Man podcast, AM Sports Media. They go live at 3 p.m. Central Time all the way until about 5. So we might just try to come on the back end of them, and we'll go from like 5 to 7 or something like that. Give you guys 4 hours of great content. But anyway, we'd love to get your thoughts. What do you think of the results of his court case? Did he get enough time? Or did he get punished enough? Whatever you think, go ahead and leave it in the comments. This has been T for the Mic Check Podcast. Until the next time, I'm out. Peace.